We always try to, at least on this channel, avoid the culture wars. Primarily because, well, as I've said, and I'll say it again for you if you haven't heard me say it before, the culture wars are complete and absolute nonsense. They do not lead to any good policy, and they have never, ever really shown that they have a good policy outcome. Indeed, if anything, if you look at America, look at Florida pursuing these book bans. Guess what? Books that, should never have really been banned end up getting banned over this very, very draconian reaction to, oh no, someone might be gay in this book or openly gay in this book, the horror, the won't someone please think of the children? So yeah, these culture wars obviously don't really have, and they've never really shown to have good policy. However, engaging in these culture wars can have a very bad effect, and it can have a very bad effect on institutions which we should trust. Institutions that we very, very often trust to, in some cases, be the referee in some of these types of these discussions. And I've never really spoken about the cast review. I've not something I've really covered. Like I said before, it's not my wheelhouse. I don't feel that I have the right knowledge to be able to talk about it with, authority, to be a trusted source. There are other people on YouTube who do a lot better job than talking about it than me. I've talked about them before. Go check them out. But this, I think, what's going on now with the BMA, the British Medical Association, I think sums up why these culture wars are bad, and especially the bad outcomes this can have about what should be a very trusted institution, where now a witch hunt is going on. So we'll have a look into this today, but yeah, this is just why the culture war, as I've said before, is nonsense, complete nonsense. But before we do getting into this today, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there's the Patreon page, there's a Buy Me Coffee link where you can buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, there's the Pony Club down below as well. So let's crack on then into this. So this comes from The Guardian with the title of Witch Hunt. BMA tries to identify who leaked the planned opposition to the CAS review. So, the British Medical Association has been accused of undertaking a witch hunt to try and identify a senior figure who leaked what it was set to be the landmark CAS review on transgender healthcare. It has warned the council's ruling 96 members, that whoever tipped off the media about its stance should own up or face their non-cooperation being seen as an act of dishonesty. And critics have said that this action is disgraceful, Orwellian, and witch hunt-like. And it gets even worse, because this is an organization where technically this type of stuff should be happening. If they see something that they have an objection to, then they should be able to object to it without fear of repression, a witch hunt, potentially even ruining their careers or being even thrown off, the council. Because they had strong criticisms against this report. And I think the BMA coming out against the CAS review, I think if they had allowed this to happen in a very strong way, I think we would see a lot different how, or at least how Labour would be treating the cast review, shall we say. So let's get on to this. So the BMA have obviously been the BMA has been very heavily criticised by key medical figures since it voted on the 17th of July to, in effect, reject Dr. Hilary Cass's report. It is the only medical organisation in the UK not to accept and find fault with her findings, which were accepted by the last government and its Labour successor. So I think that the BMA rejecting the Cass report, being able to do that, is good. However, because they were going to come out very strong, they were going to, according to this, it leaked that they were going to disavow it. But instead, they had to reword it from disavow to publicly critique. I think this tells you just how much the culture war had affected an organization like the BMA, where they felt strong enough that they should come out and say, no, we disavow the Cass review. But as you can say here, there was a climate of fear. So, yeah, Rachel Poldak, one of the union's chief joint executives, has added that some leading BMA figures have said it is now a complete climate of fear within it over the toxic subject of Cass by telling the council members that an investigation into the leak has now been launched and the culprit should reveal themselves. In a message now posted on the council's message board, the day after the motion was passed, Pollock was now scolded whoever had leaked the details of the two Cass-related motions and made it clear that that because of the confidentiality of the council proceedings had been breached, they were now investigating further. So this, once again, I really think is bad, because I ultimately think this has come down to they had been worried about the reaction coming out against this, when almost every other medical profession, as far as we know, had at least been somewhat accepting of the Cass review. But when the BMA comes out and as very strongly saying, no, we are going to disavow it, then, something clearly there is broken. And I think it is because of these culture wars. It is because of these culture warriors, and they're worried then about the reaction if they had come out and rejected it, what might happen to them. And in a bizarre twist, you've got these culture warriors who are out there right now saying, if we come out and quote, say what we like, we are the ones getting suppressed. We are the ones who are having our free speech denied, etc., etc. Well, just look at what happened to the BMA. They were going to come out and say, we are going to absolutely disavow the Cass review. They then had to reword it. This, I think, this entire story, especially just on this, seems to me just to go to show you just how bad, the culture war is. You should not get involved with it. Just leave it alone, and let the idiots, mouth off, because quite frankly, there are other and better ways to do it rather than getting involved in whatever that mess of the culture war is. So, as always, let me know what you think down below. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.